We've got the Hotshot 2 re-release with the Hobbywing ESC. Finally, we got an ESC. And thank you, Ryan and the Eliminator crew, for throwing in a free Tamiya hat.
Excellent!
You know, you guys always hear me say to support your local hobby stores, and this is why. It's pretty cool getting a little freebie like this every now and again, and all I can say is that I really appreciate it. So thanks a lot to Ryan and family over at Eliminator RC. You guys are awesome. Now, most of you are probably familiar with the Hotshot 2 platform already. Just last year, Tamiya released the Hotshot 2 Blockhead Motors Edition, which was basically the exact same thing with a bit of a different color scheme. And of course, the Blockhead Motors livery, which looks so good. But here we're doing a throwback to the OG Hotshot 2. Couple minor changes, but this is basically a true representation of the original. And one thing I'm really happy about is the body comes pre-painted and trimmed, which is going to save a ton of time. Let's get into the box. And before we even open the box, I think we have to mention the fact that the box itself has this really nice silver color. But instead of being a white background, it's silver. It's a little thing, but it just looks so good. Talk about gorgeous presentation. I love it. You know, I can do this 1,000 times and it'll never get old. It's always so fun to unbox a brand new Tamiya, or any RC car for that matter. First thing I noticed here, guys, is something I've never seen before. This little pamphlet here from Tamiya, and spare parts and hop-up option part notice. So it looks like they're trying to maybe direct you to the Tamiya website to get your option parts, maybe at least just get part numbers, see what's available. Kind of neat and a good reference, to be honest, because after talking TTO2 so often with you guys, I didn't know half the hop-up parts that they make for TTO2s were even available. So this could be a good resource to check out. What else? Oh my gosh, boys, check it out. The ESC in Canada. We finally get a kit with an ESC. Thank you, Tamiya. Again, though, this is the rebranded Hobbywing 1060 ESC, not the 1080. The 1060, which is great for brushed motors. It's waterproof, good for 3S up to 15 turns, I think, something like that. So this is an absolute banger of an ESC. I'm going to open it up real quick for you guys, just in case you're wondering what type of connector we get on there. So it does come with a Tamiya style battery connector and does have bullet style connectors for your motor. What else is in the box? We've got some Hotshot wheels. The rears are a little bit wider than the fronts. How's that go? There we go. The fronts are up top, the rears and the bottom a little bit wider. And, you know, just a very basic kind of a wheel. We've seen these before many times in the Hotshot series of vehicles. Speaking of the Hotshot series of vehicles, I am one away from completing the collection. I just need to get a Super Shot. So if anyone finds a smoking deal on a Super Shot one day, let me know. What do we have here, guys? Looks like some chassis rails. You know, this upper rail portion here gives you your roof line, bit of that sandrail type of a feel going on. We've got some battery tie-down straps here. Looks like the wing mount here, and just a couple other various pieces of plastic, nice and soft. We've got the windshield scraper. If you live in a cold climate like I once did, you're going to want to use that to scrape your... No, you're not going to want to do that. That's the bumper, and I love the fact that we've still got the two Tamiya logos cut out of that. I love the way that looks. Then we got a nice big skid plate up front there. We have more chassis components here. This looks like it's just probably some kind of a lower tray for the chassis. And these pieces right here actually go on the front lower A-arms, and that's what will control your front monoshock as it compresses. And if you're curious what all this monoshock talk is, that is a monoshock, and Phil loves monoshocks. We got two shocks in the rear, one in the front. The original Hotshot only had one shock in the rear, so monoshock front and rear, which was beyond cool. Not the most functional, but looked very rad. And before I go any farther, guys, I thought I'd also let you know that the Hotshot 2 is a four-wheel drive buggy, no center differential. It does come with a brushed motor as well, which is pretty cool. So this is a good buggy to bash around with, start with, have a lot of fun with. And it has the character of some of the 80s and 90s cars that Tamiya had. Looks like we're getting into some gearbox plastics here, guys. This big beefy one would most likely be the back. I'm going off memory here. You're going to start this build by assembling the rear gearbox first. There's going to be a propeller shaft that's going to take the power from the rear gearbox and shoot it up to the front, which is your front gearbox right there. Tires, I'm going to save that for last. I'm going to relish that tire sniff. Make you guys wait for it a little bit. Let's look at this body, and I am absolutely stoked that it came pre-painted. I know some of you guys aren't. I definitely am. You know, very basic body, guys. Not a whole lot to talk about here. It's Lexan, it's flexible, and it's pre-painted black. I love it. Gonna get the wing out for you guys. See what's going on with the wing. Same thing, guys. The wing is good to go. Yeah, they already took off the overspray film on to protect from scratches. So yeah, the overspray film is gone. So it looks like you can just start putting your stickers right on here. Bottom tray, which is hiding some beautifully contrasted red parts. The black and red really, really make this kit just look so good. Yeah, look at that, guys. We've got all these beautiful red parts, just creating that wonderful contrast that makes this buggy stand out and look so great. We've got a little supplement manual telling us not to run into children. We have our build manual, which I'm going to say it again. You guys are getting sick of me, but Tamiya's build manuals are the best. They make it so easy to build an RC car. So if you've never done it before, don't be afraid to do it. In fact, I strongly recommend you do try it if you haven't tried it yet. There's just something about it. You get this intimate knowledge of your car. You get to know the car. You really develop a bond with your RC car, as cheesy as that may sound. And then on top of that, you know how it works because you're going to break it at some point. So if you know how it goes together, if you've greased things properly, etc., it's really going to help you out in the long run. So don't be afraid to build one of these. These manuals are simply the best. They've got a beautiful guide right up here that's going to give you all the information you're ever going to need regarding the screws that you're using, all the parts, the bearings, bushings, etc. Really, really easy to use. The back of the manual also has all of your part numbers for your screws, pinion gears, clips. So if you need to reorder any parts, you know what your part numbers are, all that good stuff. Decal time. And it looks like we have a pretty basic decal sheet here, guys. Look, not much on there, but you know what? That's perfect. And I love the yellow, orange, red. That's giving me some really strong 80s Toyota vibes, which makes me a very happy guy. Looks like these are not pre-cut, which is a major bummer in my eyes because I hate cutting out decals. So, not pre-cut this time, unfortunately. We're down to just a couple things here, guys. Tires and the big boxo parts. Let's do the sniff. It's time. Drum roll. Drum roll, please. We're going to need a drum roll.
Drum roll.
Joy to the world.
Ooh, started off weak and came in with a punch. You got to be careful with these tires. You know, you don't smell much at first. You stick your nose right in there. Ooh, you'll be watery-eyed by the end of this video. Or maybe we should look at them too instead of just sniffing them, eh? I'll get one front tire, one rear tire, so you can see the difference in the width. They are the same diameter, but slightly different width pattern. And you see these really aggressive spikes along with these oval blocks. I just love the way these tires look. They're actually designed directionally as well to really cut into whatever surface it is you're driving on. I love the artwork, the black and red, the white. Looks pure evil. All right, guys, I'm just going to go through the pile. We've got the standard Mabuchi 540, tri-tested and true. I don't think I'm going to use this motor in this kit. I think I've got something else in mind. Here we have our main chassis. And check that out. We've got our driver figure molded into the top of the chassis plate. And we've got a little bit of tape here right from the factory. And that looks like a lower piece that's probably going to get screwed together at some point here in the very near future. We've got our driver's head. There he is, ready to go. Here we've got some more red bits and bobs. And I like how these come because each one is its own shock. And again, we were only using 3 shocks on this kit. So we've got our 3 red shock bodies, shock caps, upper and lower. And here we have our front spindles. You call those spindles? Knuckles? Front steering doodads. These arms to be the front arms. They have these round areas here with the 3 screw holes, and that's definitely the front arms. And this is the piece that your monoshock attaches to. So as your shocks kind of go through the motions, they do one of these. Works pretty well. We've got this neat sort of, it's an antenna, but not an antenna. I think this is really more so designed to help you in case of a rollover. It's rather kind of a thicker steel. So if you roll over, the buggy doesn't roll and roll and roll and tumble. This will stop it from rolling over too much. Just a few bags left here, guys. This last red bag here has got all of our suspension components that we need to put our shocks together. We've got our adjustment collars here. Looks like we've got 1, 2, and 3 hole shock pistons, which is good for shock tuning, along with various length shock bottoms. I've seen a lot of people ask in the forums and in the Facebook groups and online. Do I need to upgrade my gears in my Hotshots, my CW01s, etc.? Short answer is no, you don't. Although these are plastic gears, they are extremely tough. Possibly nylon gears, don't quote me on that. But these are tough, guys. I gotta say, they're really tough. Knock on wood, haven't broken them yet. Time for the screw bags. Screw bag A. What about screw bag A? Looks like we've got an assortment of pinion gears, which is interesting. Check that out, guys. I see, I'm counting 4 right off the top. 4 pinion gears there. We've got our metal gears for our differential in here as well. T-wrench, a bit of grease, and a bunch of plastic bushings, unfortunately. So note that it does not come with ball bearings, only comes with bushings. I think there's maybe a couple throwout bearings in here. You're gonna want to invest in some ball bearings, 100%. Parts bag B, check her out. We've got a nice, big, thick dog bone here, or propeller shaft that looks like a dog bone. We all want to see this beefier prop shaft, so that's nice to see included in this kit. And we've got our metal outdrive, some more bushings, and a bunch of hardware and additional dog bones. Bag C, we've got some suspension, or sorry, some steering links. Looks like some hardware down here, and the roof plate for the driver as well. Last but not least is bag D. We've got some soft damper oil, and this is going to be your damper build bag. So bag D is going to be for your shocks. You've got all the O-rings you need to put your shocks together, shock shafts, springs, all that good stuff. If you guys have any questions about the Hotshot 2, feel free to throw them down in the comment section below. I'm always happy to get back to each one of you guys. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, guys. That means so very much to this channel. I'd really appreciate it if you did that. And be sure to check out that description box one last time, because I'm going to have a coupon code in here to save you a few bucks if you go to get one of these or anything else from Eliminator RC. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, getting this thing unboxed. I was really excited when it came in the mail today, so I just had to jump on it right away. So I'm going to get building. Until next time, guys, be excellent to each other.